Each on with this one. After owning the company for a number of years, eventually Harry Ferguson sold off to Massey Harris, and they became Massey Ferguson after a while. Carried on the same design as the little grey Ferguson for one. Then all of a sudden it got to the, I suppose about the beginning of the 60s, they suddenly changed completely their design. They went for the very square lines of everything, and they changed the numbers a bit. It's the diesel engine, of course, a 135, but it's still basically got a bit more power, but it's still basically that same little, developed from that same little grey Ferguson. Another of our standard Fordsons again. Petrol paraffin, belt pulley, very, very popular little tractor, pre-war again. Now we know they're pre-war because they were allowed to carry on building the tractors during the war, but the Ford company, they actually reduced these wings by about half, and that was their contribution to the war effort because everybody wanted steel to build planes. And that's what Ford said, well, we've got to carry on building the tractors, so we're putting narrower wings on them, and we'll let you keep that bit of steel. No hydraulics, no power takeoff, just purely a drawbar tractor. Case is an American company. He was Tom in a minute. American company, imported tractors over here. This one of their bigger ones with a 6-cylinder diesel engine, but typical of an American built tractor, no hydraulics, purely drawbar. It's got a power takeoff, but they're purely a drawbar tractor. But they were absolutely massive for using on the huge fields down in America. Another of our field marshals. This one's got electric system on it, so it's actually got some lighting on it, which is quite unusual. That was an optional extra. This one obviously being used for probably forestry work, because on the back is a winch for hauling the timber out. Fordson diesel major, these came out in about 1953, and this was the first time you could actually buy a Ford tractor or Fordson tractor with a diesel engine fitted by Ford, because prior to that you had to have a Perkins in it. Very, very popular tractor. Produced in their sales, it's one of the most popular tractors of the bigger size, alongside the Fergusons really. Hydraulic linkage, power takeoff on the back. Prior to that one, this is the previous model, the E27N. Petrol paraffin engine, very, very similar to the standard Fordsons that we saw earlier. Started on petrol, turned it over to paraffin. This one is fitted with electric, or started to be fitted with electric. And if you've got these electric kits you can buy from Ford to put on it, all the holes are already there. This one's got the little platform up there to put the battery on. You've got, if you put headlights on it, there's even the hole already there in the casting to fit the headlamps into. The Ford were very, very advanced for their time. You can have them with or without hydraulics. I think that, yes, this one's got hydraulics on the back of it. That was an optional extra. You had to pay a bit more for that if you wanted hydraulics on your tractor. The British Motor Corporation, BMC, Austin, Morris and all those, they also had a tractor division. At the time they were called Nuffield because it was Lord Nuffield that owned the company, but in later years they changed the name of their tractors to Leyland, because by this time they were all part of the Leyland group. And this was originally started out like we would have done with a Nuffield, but they came as Leyland, bigger engine. Now we've got a cab. Alright, we haven't got the heating in the cab and all the luxury we've got nowadays on them, but at least you are sitting in the dry. Right, you still float in the winter because you had no heater, but at least you were in the dry and not sitting out in all the wind and rain. Now there were diesel majors, we're going with the electrics on this one, and in original condition. It's obviously been checked over mechanically, but the bodywork of it is still exactly the same as it when it left the Ford factory up in Dagenham all those years ago. Another rear Massey Fergie 135 diesel engine, very popular tractor, and many of these still working for a living nowadays. The 135 still a very popular tractor. Another rear diesel majors, still got its original 4-cylinder diesel engines, had a new fuel pump fitted to it recently by the look of it, but other than that it's still very much in working condition. Field Marshal again, very distinctive sound, you can always tell a Field Marshal. Again, this one fitted with a dynamo on there for electric lighting. As I say, very popular tractor for woodworking and thrashing, but for general farm work they were very expensive tractors to buy. The general farmer didn't used to use them very much. Again, fitted with a winch on the back, so it could be used for timber work. Another pair of diesel majors, still got its original 4-cylinder diesel engine, and you'll notice all these Fords and majors, they've always got a bit of a clatter to them. Doesn't mean that the engine's falling apart, but where they have the drive to the fuel pump, there's a coupling. These things clattered like that from the day they left the factory. You can get a more modern coupling on there, and it doesn't clatter, but they don't sound right. It clatters away, but it still keeps going. I don't know why people put this other one on, it just doesn't sound right. Now I said about the Massey Ferguson changing their design of their tractor in the 60s, so did Ford's. They went for the very square look at the same time. Whether there was something went on between the two companies, I don't know. So this is one of the later ones, the Super Dexter. They did what they call, I always call them the 1000 series, because they had a 1000, 2000, 3, 4, 5, I think it went to about 6, 7 or 8,000. The bigger the number, the bigger the tractor. And this is the 3000, 3-cylinder diesel engine that replaced the original Ford Dexter.